everyone. And this is Living Wealthy, the basics, love, romance, and partnership. This is session number 5. Beyond the limits, there is no box. Wow. I am Ronnie
Woohoo!
B. And before we get into tonight's webinar session, we have a little spoken word to get us into the mood, to open up the space. Let's see what we have from Shani, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry. Please roll it.
The breakup. Too many wasted years, no more wasted tears. Standing here on my own too. They say I gave up. Nah, I gave you love that you didn't appreciate. You took it for granted like my love was a waste, sealing your fate because I no longer walk down lonely street. Hell, it took a while, but truth, you was never truly for me. Finally seeing clearly as your well runs dry. Walking away with no tears in sight, gained insight. I still pray for you at night. You lost your hold. I've moved on, learning again how to live life, love right. Breaking up is hard to do, but I've got it. Retaining knowledge of how to do it right, leaving it all behind. I'm in recovery. Our history soon to be a distant memory, a shattered piece of my past, one not meant to last. It's sad. You'll feel the repercussions like an aftershock. Nope. It wasn't my fault, but I'll take the blame. Just to refrain from doing this again, I refuse to be bitter in the end. I am amazing, and you didn't get to damage me. You were lucky to have me, but no more. You feeling dehydrated, and I'm feeling liberated, giving you up even the score. My heart don't hurt anymore. It's no longer sore. The breakup, tough love, like lost and found, like rain coming down to cleanse and restore. You wish I was standing at the door, but you don't get to hear my footsteps in the dark anymore. No more dreaming of you. Yeah, the truth that I've been through because of you, and now I'm through because of you. You don't get to keep me down, and you don't get to keep me around. You missed it. My worth. I still see how you failed to recognize that I am a warrior among these thieves, and I felt you trying to bleed me weak. But you don't understand that I am destined to do great things. I happily stepped on your throne. I used it as a stepping stone, refusing to look back. This part of my past, I happily place in this big black trash bag, ready for pickup. I'm chunking you deuces because this is the breakup.
All right, the breakup, Shani, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry. Tonight's session, we are looking at Beyond Limits. There is no box. Games people play.
Mhm.
The Divine Prosperity Blaster. Let me turn this. Let me turn the session over to our favorite lead diva, Robinson. Take it away.
Thank you, Ronnie B. And thank all of you for joining us tonight for session number 5. Can you believe it's the 5th one already? Of Living Wealthy, the basics, love, romance, and partnership. I am Robin. Please welcome my fellow course leaders, Divas Nikki, Nakia, and Janice, as we continue this 6-part series. The distinctions of love, romance, and partnerships create the space for living wealthy and having our most treasured desires manifested. The intention of this course is for people to create breakthroughs in their ability to create breakthroughs for living wealthy. Tonight's session is powerful, and the intention is each and every participant is empowered in going beyond imaginary limits. Imaginary limits. There is a powerful way to listen and participate in the seminar. Listen from, what am I committed to having as a breakthrough? I'm going to give you that again. Listen from, what am I committed to having as a breakthrough? And I will hear what is needed that makes the difference. Before we start tonight's inquiries, The Divas and I are going to share what your fellow partner participants are getting out of the webinar series. And I will begin. No, actually, Ronnie B., will you begin with
Yes,
the
I
email?
will. Ordinarily, we'd have Diva Nikki, but the Russians got into her computer.
Those darn Russians.
Those darn Russians. Either that or that guy in Korea. One of them got to her. And but we do have Diva Nikki, but her computer's down here. The first email we have is from Glenda McMahon out of Fayetteville, Arkansas.
One of my favorite places, Fayetteville.
Oh, oh,
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, up in Fayetteville, our people's there. Divas, I have learned a lot about myself and gained some deep insights as to why my life looks the way it does. I feel I am closer to God than ever before, and my true self is shining again. Oh. The
Yeah.
conversation about disappearance left me a little confused. When Diva Nikki said she was going to have to let it be so she could understand the concept, that gave me a lot of freedom and it opened the path to my breakthrough. One of my insights was I never let things be. I am always trying to change or fix the situation. Often I am left upset and unappreciated. It has been so frustrating. Now I get what Ronnie B was pointing out. I say I'm letting go and letting God or turning it over to Jesus, but only if they fix the problem the way I want things fixed.
Such insight. Yeah.
Now, I have been trying to change my fiance and myself for several years so we can get married. I see now the more I try to change him, he just reverts to being him. The more I try to change me, I just revert to my old ways. Last Sunday night, I said to myself, I am going to let both of us just be ourselves. For the first time in years, I felt a peace about our relationship. For the next few days, we had the best conversations. It felt like our friendship had been restored. It was great. That was when it dawned on me that I do not want to marry him. And he does not want to marry me. We had both been acting out of an obligation we had never made to each other. Hmm. My occurring world shifted dramatically, and it was good. I thought if we ever parted ways, it would be nasty. Instead, it occurred as empowering. When I
Wow.
told him I didn't want to marry him, and I thought he felt the same, he was simply stunned. After a few minutes, I could see his entire demeanor shift. It was like a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He said, Baby, you are right. As much as I love you, I don't want to get married. Maybe it's time for us to be thankful for all we have meant to each other and move on.
Wow.
At this point, there were tears from both of us everywhere. They were tears of joy. I have taken self help courses. What separates this course from theirs is you are giving us transformation. I feel born again. Love you, Diva
Wow.
Nikki. Blessings to you and all the divas.
Amazing.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you, Glenda. And wow, really, really thank you for sharing. And I I just really want to acknowledge that you stayed with it. And um, we always say that we're in the course with you. Well, we really are in the course with you. We're not bestowing great knowledge upon you. Well, you already have that, and we already have that. We're working to have that knowledge like useful for what we're up to in life. And part of that is the conversations that we're having. And I can only imagine uh, how long that cycle was going to keep going. And nothing but frustration And we all know eventually there was going to be, how did they say at the beginning? The breakup. And it was not going to be pretty. So,
Yeah.
and I want to acknowledge you for that. That you said that. You figured, a look, if we are, it's got to be, it's got to be, and I don't know where that came from. It's got to be, no. It could be freeing. And I remember Oprah Winfrey once shared, and she said, when I was young, I fell in love with this man, and it was God. Please, please, please give me this man. I gotta have this man. I gotta have this man. Well, it didn't work out. And she said years later, time went by, and she was like, she saw him again, had a conversation, and she said afterwards, she was like, "Thank God I did not marry that man." So,
Yeah.
you know, and the other thing was the part about obligation and uh, imaginary obligations. Like the true obligation is to yourself, and everything else is an invention. And once it becomes a burden, then you want to look at where that was coming from in the first place. But really,
Yeah.
really beautiful. And Diva Nikki, would you like to share it? What's present for you from Miss Glenda?
Well, I think it is, first of all, I'm glad that she was able to connect with that. And I think it is awesome that she owned that, of herself, first of all, owning anything, took responsibility. And then when things came to the head and the final conclusion, the real truth came forth to be in total acceptance and to be in joy of that, I think is amazing because so many times we are, people hold on to things that we should have let go of a long time ago. Clothes, shoes, residence, jobs, relationships,
People.
exactly. And for whatever reason, it is that we have these attachment and slash detachment issues. Um, and for myself, I can relate not in that sense, but I understood that I'm a changer. I want to
Mm.
change things too. I want to change people too. I don't want to just help you. I really want to change you. And you know what I want to change you to be? I want to change you to be like me. And that could be that's good.
Hey,
The good
hey, hey,
part, the
hey,
bad
Nikki,
part. That's what I
I
want
love
to
you,
be.
dear, but
Be careful what
I
you
ain't
ask
wearing no
for, right?
dresses. I ain't wearing no dresses. I'm telling you now. I ain't wearing no heels and no skirt, baby.
But
Funny guy.
so one of the things for me that opened up in change versus disappearance was I was feeling like some of my family, some of my siblings, I'm going to put it right there, some of my siblings were not as family oriented and caring of the family and our elders and where they are in their time, as I was. And I decided that I was, what, I'm not going to say anything, to anybody, right now, whatever. Well, lo and behold, my sister-in-law and one of my brothers and sister-in-laws informed me that they were going to go spend time with one of our elder cousins. And one if I came along, if I was up, coming along still, they didn't need me to go, they felt like, they were ready to take it on. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And this was without me, saying anything again. And then my father, who is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, called me and told me that my brother down there was going to go with him to a doctor's appointment. And I was like, wow, look at this. And I'm like,
Mm.
wow, okay. But I am still letting it marinate, too. I am still saying things for myself, Glenda. Thank you for sharing.
Wow.
Wow.
That's great, Nikki.
Wow.
Thank you.
It really was. Nakia? We'll give Diva Nakia a second. She might be on a mute and have to release the button there. And let's see if Diva Janice was able to come on in. Diva Janice, were you able to come on in?
Diva Nakia is here.
Okay, Diva Nakia is back.
Yay.
Anything you like to share from that share? Anything you saw?
I think that is for both of them. Sorry, but I think that's so honorable for the both of them. I've had clear to be so loving, so patient, and so caring, and for her to be bold in her authenticity with him and her generosity of saying, "Hey, you know what? This is not what I want." It takes a really big person not to go forward out of obligation or a belief that there is an obligation, and the ability for her to really transform her life and just taking the action and showing how this work actually can work by simply doing the work, being a participant and being engaged. Ooh,
Yep.
for seeing what there is available for her, and not just her, but for him, and unselfishly considering what there is to see or to consider. So I just want to honor her and acknowledge her for her boldness, her action that she took, and for her generosity, for the love that she has for him and the love that he has for her, for them to be able to separate themselves and go peacefully and still maintain civility. So kudos to you.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, the stereotypical television breakups don't always become true. Diva Robin.
Yes. Well, I just want to say that Glenda, way to go. That was brilliant and inspiring, and thank you so much for sharing with us. And something that I think is so interesting that I saw from what you shared is that when you let go of trying to change a situation or a person, which keeps us so busy and
Hmm.
occupied and focused on that, that we don't even notice
Mm,
what's really going on. And when
mm,
you stopped doing that, you were able to see what was really there. That's amazing. I mean, it was worth it to stop trying to change things just for that. Just so you can actually go, whoa, wait a minute. Here's the situation. So I thought that was incredibly instructional, if that's a word.
mm, mm.
Instructive, that's it. So, so, um, so, and as the others have said, that you too are actually letting go of what you didn't really want is phenomenal. That you were willing. I tell you, I got married once just out of inertia. I
Mm.
knew I did not. My very first time when I was really young, I knew I didn't want to marry the guy by the time we were getting married, and I didn't have the guts to say stop. The plans had been made. My parents were expecting it. The guests had been invited.
Mm.
I mean, is that not crazy?
Mm-mm.
And I'll crazy, but probably not all that unusual. So I want to say that, Glenda, what you did is really extraordinary, and congratulations to you. And now, who knows what's going to open up for you? It's so exciting.
Mm-mm-mm. Wow. That's awesome, Rob. And I'm just gonna say just something that you said. Um, uh, I was doing this kind of work for one of my favorite organizations, and I was leading an introduction, and there was a young lady there, and like, and let me tell you, I was being responsible, but I told her she was a liar. Now,
Uh-huh.
usually when you're trying to get people to do things, and you up here, you don't go, well, you're a
Yeah,
liar, you know. And she
right.
was just I'm a liar. And the whole deal was she was about to marry somebody who she didn't want to marry.
Oh, wow.
And and she was so thankful, like, you know what? Whew, I don't want to marry him, but we got this, and we got all the obligation and all of that, and everybody expects.
Yeah.
And but she did not want to marry him. And so
Well, you
wow.
saved her life.
So it can, as Robin said, uh, much of what we do is not about telling you what to do or how to do. It's the what are you doing? you know what are you doing again? Is that
Yeah.
what you, because we will go off track, and all of a sudden imaginary things will start telling us what we should be doing, like that's the reality. But
Yeah.
over to Robin for the next email.
All right. The next email is from Gwen Miller from Little Rock, Arkansas. And she wrote, I love the Divas. Oh, yay. Thank you. Especially Nakia and Robin. Robin has inspired me in my marriage, and Nakia has opened an entirely different approach for my Sunday school class. My husband and I have busy schedules. It often seems like we are strangers passing in the dark. I have been blaming him for not making the time for romance. When I heard the letter Diva Janice shared from the couple who said that both were 100% responsible for their relationship, I had to take a good look in the mirror. I knew I was giving my 50%, and it occurred to me that he should be giving his 50%, or if he did, that we would live happily ever after. Then I could hear Robin saying, what would be possible if we both took 100% responsibility? That was a scary thought. And the first thing I got present to was, what if I took responsibility for the romance in our relationship instead of blaming him? I did something I never did before. I sent a dozen roses to my husband on his job and left several sexy voice messages on his phone. He was delighted and suddenly, surprise, surprise, started acting romantic. I can cause romance anytime I want if I take responsibility instead of blaming him. That is worth $1 million. Whew. Diva Nakia always gives us the homework at the end of the seminar. It is very powerful. I like how she introduces a theme and then has homework that has you look at how to implement that theme in your conversations and actions. I started modeling our Sunday school class the same way. I have my class look at a scripture, and their homework for the next week is designed to have them apply the scripture and use its principles in their conversations and actions. It has been great. The attendance has jumped. People are sharing miracles from doing the work. Wow. Thank you, Divas. I keep each of you in my prayers. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Thank you, Gwen. Whew. Wow. So powerful. Um, Ronnie B, would you like to share first? Or, yeah, why don't
Oh,
you, if
sure,
you don't
sure,
mind?
sure. Uh, eh, one, Gwen, I just needed to. Do we need to give you the address so that you can send that check? And
For $1 million.
we'll gladly take that $1 million check.
There you
And
go.
something that Diva Janice has shared these about the series is that uh, we are having people look at the opportunity of taking responsibility.
Mm,
The opportunity to take responsibility, and which one that looks like that's exactly what she did. Wow, there's an opportunity where I can just take responsibility. And all the noise, well, he's the man, he should, and all that stuff. I want romance in my life. Well, how about I take responsibility for it, as opposed to trying to make it look like something that you saw in a movie, or
yeah.
the conversation that's been passed down. I love I'm a hearts and tissue kind of guy. I love a love story. I love that ghost. I love all that kind of stuff. To me, that's romantic. I like the little girly movies. Get with my sentimental side. But
Maybe you should try that dress, Ronnie.
it's the shoes. It's the
So you can be like
shoes.
Nikki.
It's the shoes. Let me tell you. But when it all comes down to it, what am I willing to take responsibility for creating? So I
Mhm.
really like that. And as far as the Sunday school modeling, we did not say don't look at our concepts and apply them to what you're doing. We kind of said use the concepts and apply them to what you're doing. So thank you for using the structure to make a difference for your Sunday school class.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can get that. They're like, hey, this is how to actually live a scripture. Okay, and I like, so Gwen, if you like to send a sample of the homework, I may do it myself. I've been known to read a scripture. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Ah,
present.
thank you. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, you're so great about the way you point things out and what you see, Ronnie B. Thank you. Nikki, what you got?
Well, just gonna piggyback and reiterate what Ronnie B said. It's all about doing the work.
Yeah.
This is exactly, thank you for sharing, because this is exactly what we want you to do. We want you to implement the things that we're saying and what we're doing, the work that we're doing also, into what you're already doing. You don't have to go out and do anything any different. You don't have to, you don't have to create something for you to do in order to use the work activities and the assignments that we're giving to you and that we're also giving to ourselves. So I think it's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Nikki. You are so, yeah. The way you express yourself is so clear and gettable. I'm making up words tonight.
Thank you. You're all about that. It's good though. It's good. We feel you.
And Nakia, what have you got to say about this? Anything to share, dear heart?
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say that I am totally excited about the breakthroughs that
Mm,
everyone is getting and how the level of work and the commitment of the church community that is involved in.
mm. We lost you a little bit right there. Are you there?
Oh no, technology. But
Oh
I think
no.
Hello?
There
Go
she is.
ahead. We got you. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying how the work that is taken from the seminar is being shared with the church community. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
actually doing the work, not even knowing where the source of it all came from. And they're engaged and they're getting breakthroughs and they're making a difference in their lives, and they're coming back giving a report about all of the things that are occurring for them. And just imagine if they too was engaged in the work through the seminars and through the sessions and through the workshops, and all of the breakthroughs and the people that they shared with and that they shared with get connected and see how far this goes. That's like a call to action at this point. Share the information and see how much more they can get out of it doing it, and just not from the Bible study, but in their everyday aspect of their lives. But that is amazing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for doing the work. And thank you for being committed to the lives and making a difference in the lives of others and not just
Wow.
yourself. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And the
Thank
Empress of
you.
Faith actually goes to Sunday school. She's been to those places.
Oh, that's so cool.
That
Nakia,
is so true.
and you brought up you actually pointed at something else, which is, if you're a participant in this seminar and you're loving it, I invite you to invite the people that you love in your life to have them be in our seminars too. Imagine how much it could spread. Who else might be inspired who teaches children or who teaches adults, or has a great Sunday school class, or there's so many ways to have the word get passed out into the world so that more and more people learn how powerful it is to be responsible, how they don't have to be stuck in a box, and so on and so on and so on. All the things that we talk about. And I also want to say something about to Gwen. So Gwen, oh my gosh, as has already been said, thank you so much for taking what we share and the homework so deeply to heart. You made 180-degree turnaround in your marriage. I mean, it was an about face, and it was like in a split second. That transformation is that way. It's not gradual. It's like, oh, the light goes off. I can send my husband flowers. My husband's romantic. Boom, you're done, And it really, really is like that. And another thing I want to point out is something we haven't really talked about, but there's an idea, but you've demonstrated it, called getting off it, which is when you stop blaming someone else and you take responsibility. And when we do that, like it's letting go of something. At first, it can feel so embarrassing, because you have to, in order to do that, you have to, either out loud or just by your actions, you're acknowledging that you've been going down a tunnel that doesn't work, and you're acknowledging that you weren't right. And that takes a big person to do that and to get through that initial embarrassment. But the payoff, is the difference between having a husband whose fault it is, you think, that you don't have any romance in your life, to having a phenomenal romantic relationship. So the rewards are just undeniable. And the rewards are love, romance, and partnership. So right on to you, Gwen. Oh, and I wanted to give you a little tip as well. And that is another way of being responsible. And what you did, by the way, was absolutely brilliant. I mean, obviously, you know that because it worked so well. But another thing you can do to be responsible is make requests. You can actually ask for what you want instead of, what we tend to do as women. I think women are trained as children not to ask for what we want. And I don't know what that's about. And I know a lot of us have grown out of it. But so we'll actually be upset or angry about something with our partner that they don't even know that we want. So they don't even have the opportunity to provide it. So I invite you to also try making requests. Ta-da! So,
Seek and ye shall find. Ask and ye
absolutely.
shall receive. And
Amen, brother.
yeah, let's check is Diva Nikki, are you able to handle that next email? I was checking because I thought we got her technology got back online, but
Yes,
I can't.
I am actually.
Oh, well go
Hot
forward.
dog. All right.
Hi, Doc. I know the Russians have set me free. So our next female comes from Latrice C. out of Atlanta, who says, my Uncle Ronnie raised me and my three sisters for most of my life. He was my father figure and always there for us. I am so glad he invited me to participate. I knew it would be good, but I didn't think it would be this good. Diva Janice is crazy. You can tell she is real smart and has her act together. What I like is she seems like she is in the course with us and is surprised when we're surprised instead of being all phony. I have been trying to find the right man and basically meeting a lot of bums. I heard Diva Janice say, everybody doesn't deserve you. What I got was she didn't say, nobody deserves you. Let me repeat that. So she said, what I got was she didn't say, nobody deserves you. I see that I have been looking at all these undeserving bums instead of being open to guys who might be deserving. My uncle for years has been telling me the same thing. You will jump over 10 great guys to get to the one who is full of BS. BS. What I saw about myself was my nastiness and laziness. I was getting the guys I deserve, the guys who will put up with my crap, the guys I say I want to meet want a woman they deserve, not someone nasty and lazy. I'm going to step up my game. Thank you, Diva Janice. You still crazy? I love you. Look at here. That was so real talk. Oh my goodness. That's another humbling, what I would call another very humbling email. Another taste of humble pie. Because to say that, to go beyond saying, somebody don't deserve me, to say that what you're looking for, you're not at the place, you're not that person that deserve, you're not that person for the other guys that you desire, or for the other people that you desire. You're not that person. You're not what they deserve. Wow. Thank you. Latrice, would anyone else like to share or comment? Diva Robin, I know you got a comment. Go ahead. Hello? Uh-oh.
I was muted. I'm here.
I can't hear anybody.
I started talking and I didn't even realize that I had mute on. I was all going and everything. Sorry about that. So first of all, I agree that Diva Janice is amazing. And I want everyone to know that the truth is that we're all in the course with you. Um,
Yes.
and and I recognize my old self in the sharing, and I love the way your Uncle Ronnie expressed it about jumping over 10 guys to get to the bad one. I wish somebody had said that to me. But um, my thing was finding guys who were emotionally unavailable, and they were men who were like my father. And I wouldn't act crummy. I would be on my very best behavior, but real phony. I would be on my very best behavior try to get them to give me what I wanted, which was to be loved. But the thing was, they weren't loving guys, so it was really, it wasn't going to happen. But almost ever. But everyone, I mean, I was so good at it that the few times they did shift and decide that they wanted me, I discovered before long that they weren't even people I liked, and I didn't really want to be with them. What I was, if they wanted to be with me, I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, it's true. I was
Oh
like
my
Groucho
God.
Marx.
Mm-mm.
I didn't want to be part of a club that would have me as a member,
Mm-mm.
and if they wanted me, that disqualified them.
Oh God.
I
Oh.
know. Talk about a game that you with no winning, except that I won by being right.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
at some
God.
point I
Mm-mm.
finally realized that I was choosing them just to replicate my relationship with my father, which was one where I never felt loved. And so I was kind of addicted to not being loved. So as you can imagine,
Wow.
it took, yeah, yeah. And I don't know how many of there are, and hopefully less and less, but I've certainly met other women who operated like that too.
You're absolutely correct. More than that would probably like to admit because it's very nobody wants to really say I'm looking for a father figure or I'm looking for someone just like my dad, even though my dad was crap. Or I'm looking for the
Yeah,
dad I never had.
yeah,
The dad I'm looking for the one I never saw. No one,
yeah,
but once again, this is about our true power comes from owning everything about us and being willing to shift into gear and take control as well as responsibility for everything to create the lives that we desire. But we
yeah.
can't create a life that we desire without taking ownership for all of
You
who we
have
are,
to,
for however
yeah,
that is.
you have to realize where you are to go somewhere else. So, so as you can imagine, Diva and Nikki, it took a ton of work, but I discovered the destructive pattern, what was
Mhm.
behind it, and I was lucky, I got transformed. And now when I share about
Hallelujah.
my relationship with my husband, please
Mhm.
know that not a day goes by without my being grateful for having become the kind of
Yes.
person who deserves a man like him. And that is the God's
Mm.
honest truth.
Mm-mm.
Thank you for sharing, Diva Robin. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Anybody else want to share?
First I have to give Robin a virtual hug.
Yes, 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 let's please
Thank
do that.
you.
And I
A
and I
Okay,
virtual.
also have
I'm just.
virtual as well as real tissue. I keep it on. I tend to keep it
Oh.
around these days.
Oh, well, it's right now. They're really tears of being moved. I'm fine, just so
Mm.
you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was present to that,
Yeah.
and the what I was and I thank my niece for sharing because she called up and she was Janice is crazy, and I'm like, why you say that? I'm like, wait just a minute, like, but and I said, well, what do you expect? She hanging around with me,
Mm.
who my niece regards as crazy,
So you
but
told her to
she,
put it in writing?
I said, yeah, I said, please put it down. And
Oh my
yes, I did.
God,
Yes, I did. And
that's so great.
what was really great was that when she told me, she said, you know, Uncle Ronnie, you've been telling me this over and over again, but
Mhm.
it finally, and you know, sometimes we, um, like, what I love about my relationship with my niece is that that's not a conversation I bring to her. Like, okay, here come Uncle Ronnie, ready to tell me about, you know, men and relate. I only respond when she says something. You know, when she starts being on that pity pot. Then I'll say, well, hey, well, you know the deal. You jump over, and then I leave it alone. Now, most of us talk about letting go and letting God. We do not want to let go. We want to fix it,
Right?
change it to the way that we think it should be. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know how it
Yeah.
should be. You know, I go, Robin, every relationship you had that was not the right one was a setup so that you could have the right one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a setup. It's just that when you're in it, you can't see the setup because you're swimming
Yeah.
through the muck. But it was nothing but a setup so that you could have the beautiful life that you have.
It was
And
necessary muck.
right, necessary muck, necessary muck. Yeah. And without that muck, you know, who knows? You know, but it
Yeah.
was necessary muck. And most of us, we think that there's something wrong. We're being punished. You know, whatever it is, and it's
Yes.
not that. It's what's needed so that your desire, because it's always bending toward your true desire.
Right, and it's the thing about letting it be, like being where you are, that you're pointing at as well. Like that trying to change and fix it doesn't get you anywhere. It's like treading water.
And taking a lot of gulps.
Yes, gulping
Even
and
the kid,
coughing.
even the kid.
Well, I just want to say it takes a lot. And sometimes where your niece has gotten, some people, it takes them a lifetime to get
Mm.
that. Sometimes people never
I
get it.
never. I was
And
about to say,
they're
I
so,
never.
yeah, they're so stuck on their self and what they want, what they're trying to get. They're trying to get one. They're trying to have it. They're trying to make it happen. Sometimes you have to just enjoy being with you and really begin to love you and see you for who you truly are. And then you have to be who it is that you want to be, who it is that you're looking to be. And once you become that person, even though you're working through the process and you may not be that beautiful Proverbs 31 woman just yet, virtuous woman just yet, you stand in that space. And you continue to stand in that space until one day you're going to look back and you're going to be in a position where you won't recognize yourself because you were once familiar with who you were and
Hmm.
now you're someone far greater. And then you'll start to attract that likeness in that mate, and that mate will find you. Because we as women, so busy running behind a man and trying to make that man want us, love us, need us, be with us, that we
Take me
stop.
as I take me now.
Right. We lose our own identity. We
Right.
forget our worth. We forget our value. We forget how beautiful we are because we start to take on so many personas of who we could be to make that person happy. But when we start to love
Mm.
ourselves and make ourselves happy and love ourselves for who we truly are, the God's gift, the blessing, the beautiful queens that we are, then the
Mm.
world will start to see that and you'll attract so many different people and you will find that that one is in the midst. And when he, or for the men, when she step up, you'll know. And until then, your uncle, I have heard it multiple times myself. And we as the divas who've been in that space all have. So he's just loving on you, and we have an advantage because we have an amazing man who's amongst us and willing to tell us the truth. So kudos and congrats to you for your new transformation and self-discovery and self-love and being the phenomenal woman that you truly are.
Hear, hear.
Yes, agree. By the way, that'll preach. You may want to go back listen to this recording, and that'll preach. Just saying.
Just saying. Well, you just said for sure. Gosh. All right. Well, thank you, Divas, for sharing these emails and your insights. On the other side, the inquiry beyond limits. There is no box. We are about to take a 5-minute break. Time here in Central Time is 6:07 p.m. We will come back at 6:12, and the break begins right now.
In the now. Right now is the time frame in which I live. The past is behind me. The future is ahead. So my focus is best served by living in the now, moment by moment, hour by hour. Awakened to my own divine nature, I give my attention to family and loved ones. Why put off until tomorrow the joy that today offers? Now is the time to be creative. Now is the time to explore and discover what I can do with talents and abilities. Now is the time to use the divine power of my imagination. Living in the now does not constrict me. Rather, it is a time of growth and understanding that is available to me in the present. Right now is the time frame in which I live. But the hour is coming and is now here when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father seeks such as these to worship him. John 4:23.
Here's a little song. Tears from my heart into yours. The world needs to hear. Love will bring us all together. Sometimes we travel light, sometimes we can't abide. For destination seems a long way from home, but that is alright, alright. When you get to love somebody, spread a little good love for me, baby, yeah. Alright. Someone's gonna show you love someday. I'll give a little something for you. I wanna know, I wanna have good love. I wanna touch, I wanna feel good love. Good love. I wanna have good love. I wanna touch you and me. Got to have it. I wanna know, I wanna have good love. Do me, I wanna touch, I wanna feel good love. I wanna know, I wanna have your love. It's for you and me. You got to have it. Spending our lifetime trying to get ahead of life, working so hard, building castles to go but upright. Hey, but don't you forget, we've got to live for today. Just look around and see what you've been missing. Alright. When you get to love somebody, it will be so nice to love somebody. Yeah. It's alright. Someone show you love someday. We've got to have it. Oh,
In the now.
Welcome back from the break. And beyond limits, there is no box inquiry. Diva Robin, take it away.
Okie dokie. Um, so, what is the occurring? You know what? Let me go back. Beyond limits, there is no box. Out of the box thinking, limiting thoughts, paradigm shifts, transformation. What is the occurring world when you hear these terms? I will give them to you again. Out of the box thinking, limiting thoughts, paradigm shifts, transformation. While you are getting present for yourself, let me check in with the divas and see what is present for them. So, Diva Nikki, what is present for you when you hear those terms?
When I hear that there is no box, first of all, what I hear is total freedom. And in that total freedom, in that there is no boxes, not only is there not limitations placed on me by other people or the things, but there are limitations placed on myself by myself.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. Very
right?
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay, great. Nakia, Diva Nakia, any thoughts?
I totally agree with what Nikki said. And that I internalized it. Not only is it on the world and the possibilities of the world, but there is no limitations on me. And where I allow myself to be stopped by a false evidence appearing real fear tactic, or being uncomfortable or afraid to put myself at issue, or not being 100% confident in my skill sets or abilities, and all of the things that go through my mind, my imagination, my ambition, my pursuits, my goals, my dreams. It's like, girl, why do you keep stopping yourself? Why do you say you're not good enough? Why do you say you're not strong enough? Why do you say you're not equipped? You're not wise enough? God has already done all that for you. All he needs you to do is step out on faith and take the action. Wow. You're all about being action oriented. When are you going to take action in other areas of your life that you are stopped in, that you have a wall up and you're climbing up over that wall and you're stepping up on that ladder? But then the higher you get, you look down, it's like, oh crap, I might fall. Oh crap, I might crash. I might burn. Oh crap, what the hell is on the other side of the wall? I don't know.
Wow.
You know, to
yeah.
And handle it. So, right. Yeah, being unstoppable in the face of no agreement, and that no agreement is always in your head, talking yourself down, stopping yourself, defeating yourself. And even though it's not where you can just jump out there and say, I can fly, there's still steps that have to be taken. There's still different levels of action that is necessary in order for you to be able to take that leap, in order for me to be able to take that leap, right?
Yeah.
So It's not an end-all, be-all, but it is a Stop
Pretty
saying
darn
but
close.
and say and. Stop saying but and say and. Stop saying but and say and. There's an amazing experience on the other side of this river. And although I can't see at the moment how to cross the river without drowning, there is a way to cross the river.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That is so
Comfortable
inspiring.
and familiar, and see other possibilities of me being able. And as simple as that. And you just have to say and take the but out of this experience.
I love the descriptions that you're using in everything. Like you're making it more clear. You're giving it more of a visual when you're speaking.
Absolutely, and it's
you're
not
right.
just for you.
I felt myself walking on water. I'm like, I can do this. Walk on water.
Absolutely. They jumped over the box. It wasn't even a box there. But everybody in the world thought it was a box, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Yes. Yeah. It's really, really great. Thank you so much.
I love it. You know, when I
I was about to ask you.
yeah, I hear it a couple of ways, and there's the hearing, and I should just say the listening. You know, from the nature of what we've been training in our workshops, and then I hear it as everyday talk, and in everyday talk, it's the next cute terms um, being thrown out there by the marketers.
Mm.
So as an example, um, okay, all the little corporate guys. Okay, you got to have outside the box thinking. You got to think out the box, and that becomes the latest buzzword. That's what I was. That's the term I was looking for.
Buzzword.
And limiting thoughts. It starts becoming another buzzword. You know, and it becomes I'll just say it becomes watered down because of because the distinction is not there, and people
Yeah.
who, and for the most part, what happens is people try
It's
to
not
tell
powerful
you.
anymore.
Yeah, people try to tell you because they don't have the ability to distinguish. So that's one of the things that comes to mind is for the ordinary everyday conversation. These are just buzzwords that the marketing people put out there to sell books. And what was really great, I'm just going to share this briefly. Um, Two things. One, the um, Napoleon Hill wrote "Think and Grow Rich," I think back in the 30s. And I read this article where they said, you know what, all that stuff, affirmations, Napoleon Hill, it's just magical thinking. Because real millionaires, they don't put up vision boards. Real millionaires, uh, are not going around saying affirmations. And thinking and grow rich was nice at a time because it was the depression, and people needed to hear something uplifting that their lives could get better. And I saw in that statement the level of cynicism because there's no distinction. So that's what I'm present to.
I got it. Yeah, it's really, really great. Thank you for pointing that out. So as for me, I'm really. I didn't miss anyone, did I?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'm present to excitement. I have heard of out of the box thinking, but I'd actually never even considered that. I mean, we know that it's an what's that word, like and it's an idea. I can't think of the word, like simile or an analogy. There's not like really a box, but I never really thought about like there really isn't a box for there really isn't a box, and that the whole idea of exploring that is really exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say, and it was something that you said, Diva Nakia, but I actually don't remember what it was. But I threw down a quick note that about thoughts you said something about thoughts, and about thoughts being limiting. And I don't even remember exactly what you said, but the thing that occurred to me is that our thoughts go on not pretty much nonstop, and there's a lot of the time, at least if not all the time, when that thoughts really have a life of their own. And if you notice the nature of thoughts about, oh yes, you were talking about putting ourselves down or thinking I can't do it or any of that stuff. If you think about, if I were controlling my thoughts, would I be thinking those thoughts? So I've really come to look at thoughts as highly suspect. If it's not a thought that empowers me, or that empowers the people around me, or empowers what I'm up to, or potentially makes a difference, or is something that's just plain old useful, like 2 + 2 = 4, I don't necessarily give it credibility. Because I know that if I were controlling my thoughts, I wouldn't think bad things about myself or other people for that matter. So I just wanted to open up the idea of just discrediting thought and not believing our thoughts. That's what I'm pressing to.
We are gonna have to. I got it, Nikki, but we're gonna have to move it a little.
Okay, let's move along. Okay.
Okay.
So for everyone, wherever you are, whatever you're present to, when you hear these terms, it's perfect. We are going to have an inquiry about limiting thoughts and the box. So strap on your seatbelts. This may be a rocket ride. So, check this out. Limits are formed by our experiences, and they are imaginary. They're imaginary.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. Wow is right. So how it works is something happens that we don't like. Then we create a limit so that thing will not happen again. For example, so you share a secret with a friend and you ask them to keep the secret and they blab it out to everyone. So you say to yourself, don't share your secrets even with friends. And guess what? Now you're limited in what you can and cannot share. Your friend blabbed, you told yourself, don't do that again. And there you are, limited and cannot share. And it's not like we say, well, be careful when I share, or think about who that person is. It's like never. It's just how it works. Then another example is you open your heart to someone and you tell them you love them. What a beautiful thing, right? But they tell you they aren't interested or they don't feel the same way, and you're crushed. So you say to yourself, don't say you love someone unless they say it first. And now you're limited about when you can and cannot express your love. Another door shut. So does anybody know how they train fleas? I know. What does training fleas have to do with limited thinking? Well, let's see. So here's how they train fleas. If you take a bunch of fleas and you put them in a jar, and the jar is open, they jump out. So you go, well, those fleas aren't trained. I want them to stay in the jar. So what you do is you put a lid on the jar. And the poor little fleas hit their little heads on the lid, and before long, they have learned they only jump high enough to keep from hitting their little heads. And guess what? Remove the lid, and the fleas still stay in the jar. They have been trained that there is a lid, and they're not going to hit it. So there you have trained fleas. Well, guess why I'm telling you this? Because you are the flea. You didn't know you were a flea, right? And the limits you put on yourself are imaginary. They're imaginary, especially those created from past experiences. So Ronnie B. and I are going to share a limit we have put on ourselves from an experience that created an imaginary lid in an area of love, romance, and partnership, or partnership. Ronnie B., would you like to go first?
Well, 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 I'm a bold, beautiful flea. Owning all my power.
You're a tall, handsome flea.
Hey, and this is really great. But what I thought about actually, and it's in the area of love and romance, and um, what happened, and I'm going to say what happened is that uh, here it is. It's I'm in high school, and we have the sock hop. We have the dance, the sock hop. And I put on my nice little clothes and stuff, and I'm at the sock hop with my buddies, and they're playing the music and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, I want to, uh, and I spot the girl, and I want to ask her to dance. Now, of course, I got the friends who are going, go on, man, go ahead, ask, go ahead, ask, go on. So it's like, and I'm like, kind of, I'm young, kind of scared. I'm like, well, and, because it's, high school, whole bunch of people. So I'm walking across, and, I don't know if they do this now, but all the guys are on one side of the gym, and all the girls on the other side of the gym. I
Right.
don't know who thought that design up, but that's how it ended up. So I'm making that
How it
long
always is.
walk across the gym floor, and and there's this point where I could kind of get that she's figured out that I'm coming to ask her to dance. And I'm like, and I look behind me, my friends go, man, go ahead, go on. Okay. So I get over there and I'm like, okay, Nikki, will you dance with me? And she's no. I turn around, and my friends are, they laughing and rolling, and her friends, they laughing too. So I turn around, I take that long walk back, and at that point, I stopped dancing. Really, I really kind of got present, and I just say in this moment how it really was. I was terrified to dance. And so as I got older, I would not dance. 18,
Oh.
21, I go to the clubs and stuff. I would not dance. I would buy ladies drinks. I'd buy dinner. But do not ask me to dance. And it was like I could feel terror. And I even made up that I was a terrible dancer. Now I hadn't danced in years. I'm a terrible dancer, and that was it. But really, what it was way back, 14 years old in high school, being turned down, and I wasn't gonna let that happen again. I was not gonna
Yeah.
be embarrassed. Like so, hey, I just won't dance. Now, weird things. Now, like I said, I kind of even made up as years went by that I know how to. Now, I took dancing lessons. I wanted I wanted to know how to dance so much. I had actually taken. Now this was before high school. I learned to do country line dancing, ballroom dancing, I went to summer school. I took summer school dance class because I wanted to learn, like how they all did the dances and the fancy dances and stuff. And so I actually had learned that. And then one day, um, I'm at a club and it's really nice. The ladies look nice, and I'm with a cousin or two. We're just having a good time, and this really, really attractive woman goes, "Come on and dance with me." And I'm like, "Oh no, baby, no, no, I'm afraid I don't dance." And she was, "Look, you are going to dance with me," and I could literally feel the terror like swelling up.
Wow.
I could feel it. It was like, and it was like she darn near, had, part of me was like, don't make the woman have to pull you up. And I just said, okay, all right, let me get up and it was like trying to force myself to move my leg, to move my arm. But I got up and did something. I don't know what I did. I got up and did so I flopped around some kind of way, and it was like, thank God, I'm bye, and let me go sit down. And but it bothered me. It was like, wow, and I was ready to, I said, wow, you know what, like, how are you ever going to meet a really nice lady if you can't even dance? So now I gotta I can't
Rock
dance,
in a hard place.
which was not true, which was not true,
Yeah.
but
No.
the limit was there. And what was interesting was somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but no, I do remember what happened. Another woman asked me to dance, and not at the same time, at a later down the road. And I was like, wait just a minute. Now, this nice lady, attractive, is asking me to dance. Let me get my butt up here. And whatever I'm doing is and I started having fun.
Mm.
I started having fun. And
Cool.
then, now, I am not the greatest dancer, but I'm real good at having fun. And it was like after that, I'm going to tell you, I became the life of the party. If I showed up at a party and it would be them guys kind of sitting around the lake, I'd be, oh no, we got to throw on the music. We got to get everybody would light up. The women would smile. I was the worst dancer there, but I had fun. So again, that was
Yeah.
a limit dancing.
Yes.
And
Clearly.
yeah, and I don't know, God, the cost of that, like I said, that people love me, women like me, and all, and no relationship. So it was costing me having a
Mhm.
relationship because
Yeah.
it wasn't the dancing; it was keeping me from being fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and like I
Yeah.
said, now I'm God. I'm definitely. I don't have to worry about Fred Astaire or Michael Jackson looking and going, "Son, you getting ready to come up on our cloud." They know I'm not,
Yeah.
But I can have fun, and whatever movements I'm making, I have fun with it, and the person I'm with has fun.
Nice. You are fun. I confirm that.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank
You're welcome. All right. Um, Ronnie B, shall I ask other divas as well, or share?
Oh
I had
no,
said that you and I would.
no, yep, just you and I this time.
Just on this. Okay, cool. So I was about 18 years old. I was in the middle of my first year of college, and I came back to came back to St. Louis, where where I was from, and there was a big family party, and it was all I got to get all dressed up, and it was in a really nice hotel, and and I was feeling really pretty and confident, and so I was sitting outside in the lobby for a few minutes, and in came this guy that I knew from. He was like the son of some distant family friends, and his name is Randy. And I always thought he was really adorable, but I didn't really know him very well. But I was sitting outside in the lobby, and he comes in, and I felt gorgeous, and I started flirting with him, and we ended up hanging out, like laughing and talking and sharing for, I don't know, over an hour. And I had the best time and didn't think anything of it. I didn't live in St. Louis anymore. I lived where I went to college, but I'd had this great evening. But the next day, my aunt, June, took it upon herself to contact me and to tell me, are you ready for this? That Randy was not interested in me, and why would he be why would and that why would he be interested in me? She even said, "Why would he be interested in you?" And she said he was just being polite. And I was like so shocked, and I had no reason to think that my aunt had malice, So I kind of assumed that he must have told her to tell me. So she didn't tell me that he told her to tell me, but that's what I made up. And I was so embarrassed and so shamed that I didn't even ask her. I just took it like, oh my gosh, well, I must have misread the whole thing, and who am I to think that I deserve to be with this wonderful, cute guy? So, and right that moment, I decided that the really great guys would never want me, so I never even tried to be with them. And then, of course, this coincided really well with what I shared earlier about my father and how he treated me like it wasn't worth much. So, like the one place where I didn't have a limit, I stuck one. Right? So, that like sealed the deal. So, even like much later, I mean, for years and years and years, even being around a man who seemed attractive and successful, I would be uncomfortable. Like it was like they had rejected me without us ever having said a word. Yeah, before even saying hello, I'd just be intimidated. Like they had all the power, and they were going to find out that why would they be interested in me? It was a done deal. And obviously that has shifted. But
yeah, I can get that.
But even, but I still have a moment. I'll sometimes be around I'm happily married, as you all know, but I might be around a man that is good looking or attractive, and just for an instant, I'll get that sort of like, uh-oh kind of feeling, and then I went, whoa, and then it just goes away. But it's amazing the impact. It's amazing the impact. And Ronnie B., I wanted to just mention something else about what you shared really quickly, and that is when you crossed that floor and asked that girl to dance, and I know that experience or something similar is not unique to you. And there are women who have experienced lots of similar things, and lots of boys, especially around that age you're talking about. But you could have decided a lot of things. So it's interesting to watch ourselves and other people, how we come into a hurtful situation, and we could all have the same experience but limit ourselves in different ways. Like for you, you decided it was no more dancing for me, but it could have been no more talking to girls, or it could have been no more risk taking, period. So just so it's not like there's one set way that we all limit ourselves given us, like the same situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have very.
Does that communicate?
Yeah, it could have very easily have been. It could have been about girls, like you said. It could have been
Yeah.
like been about, man, I am never taking a risk with a woman. But
Yeah.
that wasn't it. I could take a risk with a woman as long as she didn't ask me to dance.
Yeah, you had to be about dancing. But it happens in a flash and it becomes reality. A thought goes by, no more dancing, and there it is, right?
Yep, that's what
Yeah,
happened.
so amazing. So amazing. So one thing that is really clear um, is about that there really is no box. It's all imaginary. It's all made up, and it's based on the past and on fear. Every time, every time.
Yep, yep. Get
So,
bit by a dog. Get bit by a dog, and forever you're trying to keep that dog from biting you. You see a dog, and you may even
yeah,
like dogs, but that there'll be that moment when it's like, is this the one that's biting me?
yeah. That's really funny you said that. I actually was bitten by a dog and had that happen.
Oh, I was bitten by a
I
dog as
I know you weren't
well.
being literal,
Yeah,
but
I actually was bitten by a dog and by my
oh, you
neighbor.
were. We'll have to share dog experiences sometime.
Okay.
So should we
Oh,
move to the break?
we need to move to the break.
Okay. So we are taking a 5-minute break. Time here is 6:43. We will come back at 6:48. The break begins right now.
Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. Carrying around the emotional baggage of perceived offenses others have committed against me only serves to weigh me down. I do not have to include those people in my present experience if it is unhealthy for me to do so. Yet, holding on to hurt keeps wounds open that might otherwise heal. If I become aware, I am letting anger have power over me. So I examine the things I am holding on to, breathing in the divine as I explore feelings of fear or pain. I can make peace with my feelings. Their grip on my heart loosens, and I am able to open to new and more loving activities in my life. Only I am responsible for the power I allow others' actions to have over me. So I give myself the gift of forgiveness and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Matthew 6:12.
Street dreamer, street. Sometimes you wake up stressed, put this up on your chest. Out there trying to get it, care about what you did. Sometimes you choose the wrong path before it finally click. My wife, my kids, my family, you kids. I never knew how much of a sacrifice of love. Had to go through changes, big young and dumb. Feeling me for dead on his way that you grow up. Change was coming so low. So I ain't going back to where I used to be. Leaving it all behind. I ain't going back to where I used to be. Leaving it all behind. Right around my old hood, right around my old blocks. Where we used to bang that, where we used to slang rock bang. Look at life done changed. Life done changed. Coming from the south side, Chicago to GI. It's pushed up in my blood that I had to be around. Cause you BPS, if they chest it, it was fire. The killers demons so they bloody fall. Street dreamer, street. Said I hear them calling it, always gonna come to this street dreamer, street. Man, I played this for too long, now it's time to go all this. I ain't going back to where I used to be. Leaving it all behind. Ain't going back to where I used to be. Leaving it all behind. Take a while, quick to swallow down. Put the head of it, playing around with it. Go back pigeons and youngsters, hustling just to survive. Copper A-ball and the cold and being on the super fly. One of the classic white Reeboks with the baby blue bows. Watching big homies hop out the cutlass on honey's phones. We were so young, we didn't know what we were doing was wrong. Infatuated with the streets, and Jesus still saved my soul. Ain't going back where I used to be. Leaving it all behind. Ain't going back where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. Ain't going back where I used to be. I'm leaving it all behind. Ain't going back to where I used to be. Leaving it all behind.
Welcome back. Welcome back as we begin our next segment and games people play. Diva Nikki, take it away.
I had to unmute myself. Here we go. No, I had to unmute myself. Here I am. The Russians don't have me. Games people play. Limit or limited thinking has an element of fear. We fear the past hurt, failure, or breakdown will repeat itself. We won't go there. We won't take that risk. We won't look bad. No, no, no. But there's a deeper fear. The fear of who we are and the divine power we have. It creates the ultimate box. So before we start our inquiry, let's hear from Diva Janice as she shares our deepest fear. And do we have Diva Janice?
Actually, I'm going to read that part.
Yay!
No.
Okay, Diva Robin. Go ahead.
Thank you. a poor substitute, but here I am. So, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson.
Thank you, Diva Robin, for sharing that. That was awesome. Would anyone like to share what is present for them after hearing from Diva Robin, our deepest fear?
and listening to it, I was kind of thinking of I got present to Diva Nikki, and because uh, when we talk about not shrinking away so that others won't feel insecure around you, and and I'll just say this as an observation is that people get scared of Nikki, and they get scared of her because one, they get scared of her because the power of her love, which is scary because people don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
And love has a way of opening up vulnerability. So, and she's powerful in the world of love. So she's a scary person, you know.
Yeah.
And then,
That.
she's a really powerful woman and really goes for it. And uh, she can see beyond the commitment of others, and that's scary because they're like, I want to stay in my little shell, and she's like, come on out, play. You know? So I just kind of got present to Nikki in that, um, and I got present that the demand that we let our light shine, the demand, because as scary as it can be for ourselves and for others, the demand that we let our light shine, and that demand uh, always went out. You can try not to, I'm not going to let my light shine, and it will shine. So that's what I got present to, Steve and Nikki.
um, anybody else before I share?
Yeah. Me.
And thank you, Ronnie B. Yeah, well, go ahead, me.
So I want to say that it is like the best prayer or mantra ever. And I'm actually, it's not new to me right now, but it's new to me right now. And I am going to put it up in my art studio as inspiration. And I just see that playing it safe costs so much that it costs even the possibility of what's possible.
Mm,
Like not stepping out makes it's a showstopper. Nothing can happen. So and I've started to see it lately. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but I'm going to say in speaking up. In I've been very cautious in my life. People who know me would not believe this probably because I'm known for being outspoken. But compared with what I want to say, I have been very, very cautious. And lately, I've been really saying what's there to say. And part of it, and it's been a lot because of this course and the whole business of letting go, because I've let go um, of how it has to go. It's trying to manage the future or how people respond, and it can't be done. So I've given that up, and it's really this quote really sums it up for me.
mm.
Thank you.
That is
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah.
Nakia, Diva Nakia.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so so much resonated with me in listening to you each share. And what I'm present to is being liberated stands out for me. So it's so easy to just stop because of that fear. And what we don't, and what I'm an internalizer. I don't allow us to play small and get intimidated by and get stopped by life is that myself, I'm letting down all of the people that are depending on me to wake up, to speak up, to stand up. Because it only takes one, and God put each of us to give out to the world, to impart upon the world, to plant in the world. And if we don't live by our divine purpose, and if we don't do our part, then that is keeping the world from receiving what it is that God has created by way of us, me being a vessel to receive. So when I'm stopped, and when I don't get creative, and when I don't allow my voice to be heard because I'm afraid of what people may think, what they may feel, what they may say, because I'm not able to please everyone, it's no longer about being perfect with me. It's no longer about being a people pleaser to me. It's about me doing what I'm supposed to do, not being afraid of how that looks, so I don't have to look good. I don't have to worry about looking bad. I simply have to worry about what am I doing that is creating possibility in the world? What am I doing that's helping others get their life? What am I doing that is being a remarkable contribution into the world and making a difference for what matters to others versus internalizing it and getting stuck in fear and saying, well, what about me? How they going to think about me? How they going to think I look? So what? I have one life and I have so much to give. And if I don't give it, then I'm stopping others from receiving something that was meant for them by way of me. Now, I'm not saying that somebody else in the world don't have something for them or may not have something similar, but it's something specific that I am here to give. And it's going to only come through me to constantly get that so I can constantly recreate me so I can be who I'm supposed to be to give out to the world. I feel liberated and free.
Wow.
And naturally, supposed to be world. And I'm a
you rock.
human being with human.
Wow. That's right.
That's all. Yeah.
Hey, not bad.
Okay. Got those people waiting. Thank you all for sharing. And I want to especially thank you, Ronaby, for what you shared. Before I share what I'm present to, I want to start out with this. What I desire is on its way, and it's coming to me in greater amounts than I could ever imagine. What I desire is on its way. So as I was going through this, I was actually being hit in my gut because I've been hit in my gut for all of the reasons that Ronnie B spoke of. And by the way, totally off script, so I'm totally not even expecting it. And even as I'm listening to Ronnie B speak about how about the characteristics that I display and all my character, how since the passing of my mother, I have not felt that. I have not felt really connected to that. Haven't felt really connected to myself. And then along with other things, so I'm just going to lay it down really quick, very fast before I go on. I started noticing a change in my mother back in August of last year. Then in November, I was in a major car accident that was fatally potential. I was blessed to still be here in November of 2017. December, I get a phone call, family emergencies are coming. Around the same time, my mother is having more issues. Come January of the year, I have my mother ambulance to the hospital. And then at the same time, my brother is relapsing with a brain cancer at the same time. February, I lose my mother. Then, as I finally begin to start getting back pieces of my life in small increments at a time, I'm in another car accident on last Monday. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I can't. What is the point? I don't see the purpose. I don't understand. I barely move besides going back and forth to the hospital for family, for my brother, taking care of my mother affairs, the family. I barely move. And the minute I decide, you know what, I'm going to be more intentional about social interaction and even finding things, activities for people that are where I'm at in grief, right? But I hadn't even gone anywhere. I was coming back from the grocery store and getting something to eat. So it was like a normal, daily, everyday activity, and I'm running out of crashing. And I can't believe it. And when I got up, before I went to bed that night, Monday night, and before I got out of bed, I was just like, what's the point? Every time I'm going higher, I'm hit by something major. Right now, it seems like it's an onslaught of things. You know what? The government's going to send me a check every month. I'm cool. It's just me. I can make it off my government check. I don't need anything else. And if I've helped enough people, right about now, I don't see the point. I don't see the point of trying to get behind the wheel of a car again. I've just finished therapy from my car accident in November. I'm finally wrapping up that lawsuit. Finally. And I get in another, I said, I don't see the point of trying to leave the house. I can have my food brought to me. I can have everything I want can be delivered to the house. Everything I need can be delivered to the house. What's the point? Whoa. But I conjured up, and I praise God for giving me the spirit of peace, and that no matter what it looks like, and no matter what it feels like, and no matter how hard it hurts, He's still with me. So I got up, and I called group, and I got myself together, and I went to the first group counseling for grief that was already on my agenda. I said, you know what? I was taking my life back in small increments at a time. I can't stop now. I cannot stop now. But I still wasn't connected to that power and to everything that Ronnie B described about me, which are true of who I am. But I'm transitioning. I'm being transformed into someone different. I'm on a whole different journey. But I know, in a sense, around the house, I see myself doing things that's, for the other side, but I don't even know how I'm going to get on the other side. I just intend now to get on the other side. I've finally been able to fight through. I'm no longer fighting to want to live. I'm past that point. Praise God. Praise God. I'm past that point. But I still don't know how I'm going to get to the other side. So this resonated with me because I felt as I'm going through it and I'm hearing Ron talk about me, I'm being hit in my gut over and over again, like you still, you still gotta shine. It's still in you. It's still in you. You can't keep yourself in the house. How you gonna shine? Like Nakia said, how you gonna touch other people that are waiting? There are people still waiting for you in spite of what and I'm not going through. It's just a transformation, and it hurts. Oh, it hurts like hell. But I am bit by bit reconnecting to this. And the life I desire, and what I desire is on its way. And it's coming to me in greater amounts than I could ever imagine.
Mm-mm-mm. Right on.
Thank you all for sharing. So now I'm going to continue. As children, when we saw something that stopped us or limited us, we would gather some friends or family and create a game to overcome it. I'm going to make an assertion as adults we have forgotten how to create games and gather people to play with us. What if we created games in the areas of love, romance, and partnership? Fun games that leave everyone moved, touched, and inspired. Sounds interesting? Well, we're going to start the work in creating games with an exercise. So write the following categories. If you participated, you know how this goes: love, romance, partnerships. Under each category, write one situation you have been putting up with, trying to change or fix, or complaining about. Under each situation, create a game, means not already there. Create a game you can play with others that would free you from the limitations in resolving the situation or give you freedom around the issue. This very act already has you thinking outside the box. So, next session, we're going to get a lot more detailed about creating games. We want you to start the process, get those juices flowing, let them marinate, stir it around. And before we continue, would any other divas like to share what is present for them or a game they created to resolve an issue? I have none right now, so Diva, take it away.
But I got one for you, okay? And this is really great because actually one of the things that we do with the Prosperous Divas is that we work with businesses, and we had the fortune of working with a Fortune 500 bank, actually a top 10 Fortune 500 bank in their call center for handling credit cards. And they have a virtual call center. So everyone is across the country and it's virtual. So they're over the internet, but it's monitored. It's just like they go to work every day. And occasionally in the chat room, it'll go negative. So one of the agents, they would have talked to a customer, and it's like, well, I just talked to this customer, this card holder, and they were just really mean to me, and they did this and that. And so it starts gaining a momentum. Yeah, I had this happen or that, and then the complaints surge. Well, what normally would happen is that you got the supervisors and managers monitoring the chat room. So out would come the red marker of death. Stop the negativity. We got to keep it positive. So now you can imagine people that are all across the country. So they're not physically there. And so when the red marker comes out, you can kind of feel the room being depressed. Like the teachers come out to spank your hand. And so what I did was I said, okay, I had a conversation with the managers and supervisors. And I said, you know what? Instead of the red marker of death to punish the negativity, I want you to play a
Of
game.
death.
I want you to play a game. When the chat room goes negative, I want you to say one word in the chat room. And what that word is chocolate. And just say chocolate. And there are going to be a couple of comments because they're not going to see the chocolate. They're going to see the chocolate, but they're going to ignore it and keep complaining. Say chocolate again. Wait a little bit. Say chocolate again. And I guarantee you that there will be a point where they will start talking about chocolate. So we're sitting there and I'm monitoring them and I'm watching, and sure enough, they start doing all their stuff. And oh, but God, that customer was horrible. And they, yeah, and for what we get paid and da 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 da. And the supervisor goes, chocolate. A little while later, they go chocolate. The complaints still going, they go chocolate again. Then about the fourth time that they put down chocolate, someone said, man, I really love chocolate cake. Then what happened was they started talking about chocolate. Yeah, and if we, my mother has the best recipe. The whole conversation changed. And from that little game, they
Nice.
took away the red mark of death. And now, whenever the room goes negative, they play a game. They'll do a word
Hmm.
game. Sometimes it's chocolate. Other times, what they started doing was they never respond to the negativity. They always introduce something creative and positive. And that made a world of difference for their team members. Who are supporting those card holders, where it started being fun, and when negativity came, that game would start coming out. One of the supervisors, now what they do is they got a list of jokes. So whenever it goes in there, they just put in a joke, and they keep putting in jokes until people start, laughing or joking back or going, "Man, that was a terrible," but they stop being negative. And
Wow.
yeah. Now I know we ran over our time, so Diva Nikki, you can take some quick shares.
I have a quick share. Is
Go
it too
ahead,
late?
Diva
I
Robin. No,
promise.
no,
I
no. Go
swear.
ahead.
I swear I'll be really quick. So I just wanted to say that my father. That's interesting. Little slip there. My husband and I used to argue about money, and he would say that we were spending more than we were making, and I kept saying we weren't. I mean, it sounds like stupid conversation, right? Because all you have to do is add up the numbers and see, but we weren't doing that. So we created a game to find some software that we both really liked. And so we did that, and now every Sunday afternoon is our little. It only takes about an hour, or even less. We go over our finances and our budget, and it has been effortless, and we no longer argue about money.
Make it a game.
Made it a
Mm-mm.
game. And we've set the game of it is that we set up different budget amounts for stuff, and we have things that we're saving for, and like if we do this, we get to do that. It's been very fun, actually.
Mm-mm.
I like that. I think that takes your mind off of the idea of lack, right? And you can't have the spirit of lack or the mind of lack and abundance at the same time. Anybody else? All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Ronnie B, are we taking a break, or we're going to go straight into the divine prosperity blaster?
Uh, you know what? We're gonna take a quick 2-minute break so that, and during that 2 minutes, which started 30 seconds ago, we're gonna pick on the Empress of Faith, Nakia, because I have a game for Nakia around dating.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a game
Oh,
around it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and part of the game
you're
will
having way too
require
much fun.
yeah, part of the game will require Nakia to invite 10 guys out on a date.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now tell me that ain't outside the box thing. People think outside the box thinking is hard. It's easy to think outside the box when it's for somebody else.
Oh my God.
Now
Y'all take
you have
y'all
to think
break.
outside the box. Like, I don't know, but when it's somebody else, oh, you can think outside the box.
Yes, how interesting.
It's amazing how that
Yeah, I believe what it is.
All right, Neva Nikia, I think it's time for the for the divine prosperity blaster. Please take it away.
Ooh, y'all gonna get me in trouble. Okay, welcome back. I am the Empress of Faith. Yeah, I have a great divine this week. Let your efforts flow. Put your thought, effort, commitment towards the ideal result. Then the experience to your next effort. Effort, ideal result. Then embrace whatever result you get and apply the value.
Neva
Create.
Nikia, it looks like we might be having a little tech issue. You seem to be breaking up some.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Me technology concern. Just
All right, we realize that she's still in shock with the 10 days. So we get
I'm in shock right along with her.
see my supportive sisters to my brother is just throwing me to the wolves. Now, can you hear me better?
Go for it.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're let your efforts flow. Put your thought, time, effort, and commitment toward the ideal result. Then embrace whatever result you get by the value. Give your best to create the outcome you seek, whether that outcome overjoys you or disappoints you. Give your best again. Now, there are many factors you can control and influence, and many more that you cannot. So it's foolish to be counterproductive to take the results personally. So don't take it personally, okay? What you can control, what you can do, is to let your efforts flow free of contamination. Now, lock your focus onto your intention while at the same time being open to all the goodness that is. All the goodness there is. Now feel the power and the energy of life as it flows through your being, moment after moment after moment. Feel the magic. Now feel the miracle of being able to make a difference. Yeah, you making a difference. Now every moment, whatever the situation, is futile, is fertile, fertile ground from which you can create meaning and value. Now, let your efforts flow with purpose, with confidence, and the highest expectations. Homework time. Woohoo! Pen and paper, pen and paper.
Yay! The best part.
Yay! Action, 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 action. Write the following categories: love, romance, Lonnie, and partnership. Love, romance, and partnerships. Now, under each category, write 3 situations where letting your efforts would make a difference. Under each category, write 3 situations where letting your efforts would make a difference. Now, under each situation, write the conversations that keep you from letting your efforts flow. You have your 3 categories: love, romance, and partnerships. You have your 3 situations under each category where letting your efforts would make a difference. And under each of those 3 situations, you're writing the conversations that keep you from letting your efforts flow. Now, I know you got that because we have amazing, amazing participants. I didn't say listeners, I said participants. Okay. Wanted to make sure y'all heard that. Now, what conversations can you create that would empower you in letting your efforts flow? Creative conversations. Now, of course, I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions. However, it's not mandatory that you use them, but you can if you would like. That's why they're there. Suggest conversation 4 that would empower you in letting your efforts flow could be creativity, forgiveness, possibility, freedom, listening, less you, or love. Creativity, forgiveness, possibility, freedom, or love. Now, keep a daily log or, of course, post daily on Facebook any results or insights, and please share with the prosperous divas. We're going to take a moment to share any breakthroughs or insights from tonight's session. Woo, 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 woo. Now, who would like to share? Any volunteers? Don't make
A
me
couple
do
of
roll
things I
call.
want. A couple of things just to make sure. I know a lot of you may be wondering what happened to Diva Janice. She was in flight and she's out in the North cold east where they're having all the fun weather. So her flight got delayed. She really missed being here this evening, but she will be back next week for the finale. And uh, all I can say is that wow. I mean, this session, um, I'm kind of in the place of I just have to step back and just let it all hit me, because this was just too awesome.
Mm. Wow.
That's me. That's for me tonight.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Miss Robin, would you
Hi
like to
there.
share?
It's really weird, but I'm pretty much in the same place as Ronnie B. I'm like, I feel like spent, but in a
Mm.
in a really good way. Like not like grumpy, but like and like
Mm.
it's now time for it to marinate and integrate and see what opens up. And I'm excited about our next and our final session.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
And thank you to everyone. Oh my gosh. This has really been amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Robin. Nikki, sweetheart, amazing queen. Let us hear what you
Well,
have to say.
well, for me, I am still letting the marinating, letting the change versus disappearance marinate.
Mm.
One.
Mm.
Number two, the outside the box. Something that came to me was after Diva Robin shared was when we now say we're going to think outside the box, and when there is no box, right? Since there is no box, if we now say we're going to think outside the box, have we then in some sort of way put and this is a thought, put ourselves above other people because we've now put them in the box when there is
Mm.
no box by saying that we're going to think outside the box,
Mm.
right? So that's just food for thought. And then, of course, me reconnecting with not playing it small, and the character and myself, connecting with that part of me, that power of me that is, it's there, but just reconnect with it as I put my life back, and grab a piece of myself in small increments at a time. The power that I have, even in that creation, that reconnecting in the recreation. Um, yeah, that's it. Okay.
Thank you, Nikki.
One
Uh,
thing, Nikki, I just want to say this: transformation happens in a moment. The work may take longer.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
And I also want to say, Nikki, you are not getting yourself back, putting yourself back, your pieces back together. You're already complete. And you're simply creating from nothing what you intend for your life to look like, what you see your life being. So we never want to put back what we had. We want to become more amazing. We want to reinvent ourselves to be something that we can't even identify for ourselves, and looking at ourselves and say, wow, how awesome am I? And it's not being conceited or anything. It's just saying, glory to God for creating this amazing person that is out here living in the world being exactly who I was meant to be. And that's who you are, perfect and perfectly created and designed exactly the way you are. And I look forward to your progress, into your transformation, into your growth, into being exactly who you are and who you are to become. So, love you. And
love you back.
Amen to that, Diva
and
Nakia.
what?
Thank you.
Thank you. And what I got from tonight's session is how easily it is to be 100 times more excited about life and living. How not to take the smallest things for granted. When Nikki shared about, I was simply going to the store and back to the hospital, and how life occurs and life happens, and how we can allow ourselves to take ourselves out to where we simply want to give up. But what are we giving up on? Who are we giving up on? Is there nothing more left on the other side for us to do, for us to create, and for whom we are to be? I got so much from listening to the shares tonight, listening to the shares from the letters and emails that we receive. And as I always love to say, keep sending them, because we grow from your sharing. We get our life out of the work, just as you, for those who have shared, those who anticipate sharing, those who haven't thought about it but want to share with us, you too get your life out of doing the work. And it's not as though we hadn't had our lives all along. It's just we see things differently, those things that were in our blind spots that we didn't know, and we didn't know how to access, but have been there all along. That's that area of transformation. And like Ronnie says, you don't see it instantly. It comes in time. But when it arises, you will know. So I thank everyone for sharing and making an impact on the lives that we have to make an impact on, for those who listen, for those who bless us by taking this work and sharing it with the world, by taking the videos and the recordings and sharing it with the world, for sharing the website and the information. If you don't share it, then you are not contributing to the community in an impactful way. Because if you're getting your life out of it, just think of how many others can get their lives out of it. So we thank you in advance. And I love you all. Love you all. And this is more than just being the Empress of Faith. Now, with that being said, we have a couple of ways for you to stay in the conversation. Being at the finale, which is living wealthy, the basics, love, romance, and partnership, session 6. It's going to be next Sunday. Woo! Tax day. Hey, April 15th, 2018. File your taxes, y'all. Be right. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I acknowledge that we are over time tonight, and we apologize. It's out of integrity. Diva Janice is not present, as Ronnie shared with us tonight.
But you
However,
can find her. You can find her on power, the number 4, now.com.
always right on time, Ronnie B. And if you would like to learn more about my lovely diva Nikki and her wealth building programs, visit prosperousdivas.com/future-wealth or email her at currencytrader@prosperousdivas.com. Diva Robin, coach extraordinaire. How should people contact you, love?
The best way to reach me is through my email, Robin, ROBYN, artist, robinartist@gmail.com.
Awesome. And for myself, visit me at appointedtimeforyou.com. And tonight's Prosperous Divas, Robin Jameson. And in spirit, Janice Hollis. My lovely Nikki Taplin. Myself, Nikia Franklin, the Empress. Co-leader Ronnie B., courtesy of the Old Grumpy Radio Network. Please enjoy the performance at the end of the seminar tonight. And remember, Prosperous Divas, prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone. Peace, love, and blessings. We out. Till next time.